What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. We have a lot to cover in this one. We got to talk about Bitcoin, XRP, and a couple of other really awesome setups that we have in the crypto space before we get CPI data tomorrow morning. So again, guys, we're going to get right into it here. If you guys do enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. Costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot getting these videos out to as many people who actually want to learn. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys drop them in the comments and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. And also, I have to give a massive shout out to all of you guys in my private mentorship community there, Less Trades, More Profits. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. Shout out to one of my students that just got their first 100% trade. And again, with the markets being as volatile as they are right now, moving to the downside, that Less Trades, More Profits methodology is going to be the main reason why so many people are going to be able to have success in the long run by being able to really tie in this big picture of the market and applying it to these really awesome trade setups. So again, everybody gets their first month for 50% off with code TRADE. Remember, you guys get both the courses that are in there, the pre-market plans, the private live streams every day, the macro research reports, single stock research reports. I think I mentioned the pre-market plans, the live streams, everything. You guys know the deal at this point. Prices are going up at the end of February, so make sure you guys hop in and secure your spot while you guys still can before prices go up. So let's get into it over here, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, I do want to talk about this Bitcoin chart and just kind of everything that we've seen on this over the last couple of days here. So obviously, if you guys have been paying attention to this channel at all over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about this prior all-time high zone and the need and the necessity for us to be able to hold above this 90,700 area. Now, when we talk about that area, again, we really need to see those candles close down below. This is something that we've been talking about a lot in the private community, mainly because we've seen the amount of volatility and a lot of the bait and switches and the liquidation candles that we can actually see in the crypto space. So we have to make sure that that move down, if it is going to happen down below that 90,700 area, is confirmed with those candles closing, especially on this daily time frame here, below that 90,700 area. Now, I want to give you guys, again, because I say this a lot, and some people still have not come to this realization yet. A lot of you guys have, which is one of the main reasons why you're starting to have so much more success in the market, that understanding the big picture, the broad market view of exactly what is happening from a macro perspective, understanding the data, looking at what is going on in these other countries and how it can affect our markets here is the most critical thing to understand and put yourself in the best position to have success. And this week is a really significant week. And before we start talking about the XRP chart and a couple of the other setups that we have, I want to make sure you guys understand this because, again, this right here is what is going to be the most critical thing for your guys' success. So at the last FOMC meeting, we got what a lot of people are calling a hawkish cut, where the FOMC, the Federal Reserve, decided to cut interest rates by 25 basis points, but signaled that they were going to be less willing to cut interest rates more in 2025, moving those projections from 100 basis points or 1% in the entirety of 2025 down to about 50 basis points. And they cited a lot of different things, but on the last time that we got the meeting minutes, which was last week, of the prior FOMC meeting that happened in December, they cited things that were very interesting to me personally, because again, you guys might look at me and you're like, oh, this guy is really young. I'm 25. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. I've seen a lot of these meetings. So they cited a lot of Trump's tax and immigration policy and tariff policy as one of their main reasons and risks that they see to inflation and prices moving back to the upside. Now, it's a very political statement for the Fed to make. Whether you're on the right side of the aisle, the left side of the aisle, the Federal Reserve should not be making political statements like that. Now, I can see their argument in them effectively saying, well, according to all the PhDs that we have working for us over here that love to operate in theory, not in reality, that tariffs can be inflationary. But then you see yesterday the statement come out from the Trump camp that they were planning on slowly increasing and putting on these tariffs to give companies the time to either find new suppliers or basically manage this new environment that we're going to be going into. Then we move into today, which is PPI, Producer Price Index, which came in lower on all fronts, which is one of the reasons why the market started to move to the upside. Now, why would lower PPI inflation data, producer price index data, signal that the market could end up moving to the upside. Well, it's the first step in seeing and really kind of exposing that the Fed is wrong yet again. I think a lot of people put the Fed, Jerome Powell, and these FOMC members on a pedestal, but if you really pay attention, they're wrong almost every single time with their projections and expectations. But that provides a lot of opportunity for us because the market loves to react to what the Fed says in the present, even though they're going to be wrong later down the line. They love to overcook expectations, which, if you've heard me talk about the bond market at all, it happens almost every single time with this pendulum swinging back and forth, pricing in an ungodly amount of rate cuts and then pricing them all out, going back to 1 or even 0 cuts, which is kind of where we are right now with the expectations for 2025. So that's kind of setting the stage here for what we have from the big macro picture. Tomorrow, we're going to be getting CPI, Consumer Price Index data. Now, a lot of people, again, look to that as the most important piece of inflation data. It's not. The Fed's preferred metric of inflation is PCE, which we get towards the end of the month, I believe on January 31st. So tomorrow is big in terms of inflation data and how the market is going to react. So now that we've set the stage here, I hope that you guys are still paying attention because that was really important. Hopefully you guys understand that. Looking at Bitcoin here again, I do think that we could easily see some upside, but let's get into what everybody's clicked on this video for, XRP. Now, we've talked about this weekly setup here. This is the daily time frame, so let's actually throw this on the weekly chart here. That once we were able to get a break above this area here, this basically this 250 area, we actually probably talked about this 234 area here as well in videos prior, that it was likely that we were going to continue to make a solid move to the upside. This setup that you see right here, solid move up, nice period of consolidation, and then another push to the upside there. That is a lot of what I do in the market, identifying these types of looks, and then again, tying that big picture in to identify which of these names, whether it be in the stock or crypto space, are the best ones to be taking advantage of. So we are seeing that continued move. If we are able to see some positive reactions in risk assets, because that's what crypto is. It is a risk asset. No matter what you want to look at it as inflation hedge, anything, at the end of the day, the market is going to treat it as a risk asset. So if we do end up seeing treasury yields moving to the downside, equity markets moving to the upside, the NASDAQ tech moving up to the upside as well, small caps moving, we easily could see crypto and XRP in particular starting to break some of these levels to the upside here. We've got 272. And then these recent highs right around this 290 area here. So this is a really interesting and bullish look on this chart here. Those of you guys that are in this, I think there is some continued upside here. Obviously, there's going to be a decent amount of volatility, but I think you guys are sitting in a relatively good spot in the present here. So that's kind of what we have here on XRP. Remember, when I talk about anything in the crypto space, I always view them as trades. These are not long-term investments for me. I know for some of you guys, they are. It's perfectly fine. You can do whatever you want with your money. That's just not something that I want to do with it. The opportunity in the crypto space for this short to medium term trading, in my opinion, most of the time is a lot better than just parking capital into a lot of these assets here. But again, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. So let's get into a couple of these other setups here, guys, to give you guys kind of a little bit of a look at what I'm looking for going into the end of this week. Remember, if you guys want the full list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do, all the courses, the private streams, the pre-market plans, the full watch list, the macro research reports, the single stock research reports, direct access to me to be able to help answer all of your guys' questions, whether it has to do with the market, macro, and trading in particular. That's what my private mentorship community is for. And again, it's only $30 for your first month to join, and prices are going to be going up pretty significantly at the end of February here too. So again, if you want to make sure you lock in your spot before that happens, make sure you check that link down below. So moving over here, the first setup that I have been watching over the last couple of days here, again, it's especially after Monday's pretty aggressive and volatile candle on Bitcoin. Obviously there haven't been that many setups there for us in the crypto space. So when I'm looking at this chart here, again, if you guys have been paying attention to these videos, you can see that we're looking at the exact same thing yet again. In order to have consistent results in the market, guys, you have to have a consistent and repeatable process to entering, exiting, and managing your positions. That is the most important part. Too many people love to focus in on the outcome, the money, the Lambo, the watch. And I went on a whole rant about this morning in the private streams. Again, guys, the outcome of one individual trade to me is meaningless. We know exactly what trading like this and operating in the market with this type of methodology and mindset is able to do for us over the long run. Our only job is to be a steward of the system and execute in a smart way, making smart decisions. So what are we looking at here? Obviously, really nice push to the upside. We have a nice period of consolidation in here. And there are two areas here that if we do end up breaking and cracking through, I would look to enter a long position on this one, ASM USD, Assemble AI. And that first level is going to be right around 5 cents here. It's yesterday, Monday, January 13th's high. That's the first area. If you want a really like a safer entry, and what I mean by that is you're going to have more of a confirmed breakout move if we do come up to this level here. It's right around 6 cents in that daily high that we're going to be breaking. If again that high that I would be looking for is Saturday, January 11th's high. Remember, I like to talk about it, especially with these that are trading in the cent ranges. As the date's high that they're breaking, just so that we're kind of all on the same page here. And I don't have to say 0.0000045, you know the deal. So that's going to be this one here. Again, when you enter, you can take your position when the level is end up breaking. You put your stop at day low. You can target some of these levels to the upside here, which in this case, you could end up having a pretty significant move up to that 7 cent area there. That could be where you take your first profits. You can move stops to break even, and then you have a risk-free position on this name going forward for whatever type of bullish, potential bullish movements that we do end up having in the crypto space. So let's go over this last one here. Again, I'm going on a little bit long in this video here, but again, I wanted to make sure that we had that macro portion of this so that kind of you guys understand the big picture of the market before we get into the rest of this week. So this one, again, not necessarily the best setup in the world. I mean, I haven't taken a look at this on the weekly time frame yet, but I would assume, and again, now it is looking a lot better on the weekly. That's why I like this. When you take a look here, again, you see a really solid move to the upside on XLM. Pulls back right into the weekly 10 exponential moving average. You pop up again, and now you're starting to consolidate. So the levels that I would be looking at going long and initiating a long position here on XLM on this weekly time frame is going to be at about 46 cents. So it's right around that area here, or is going to be the high of the week of Monday, January 6th. So that's going to be that area there. I bet we could go on the daily and I can give you guys a more pinpoint area here. The high of Tuesday, June 7th. That is going to be a really good spot, a really good risk to reward entry there too if you are looking at entering a long position. Again, you could enter here. Stop goes at whatever that day's low is going to be of that breakout move. And then you could target maybe this 53 cent area or all the way up to this 60 cent area here. So those are, again, the potential setups that we're looking at going into the end of this week, guys. As it relates to the crypto space, obviously, I'm going to be keeping all of the absolutely insane stock setups for my private community. There are 3 or 4 potential massive 1,000% trades that I'm looking at right now. I'm really excited for them. The market in general right now, if you guys have been kind of following along on my Instagram stories or the tweets, the market really hasn't given me that flashing green light to start increasing size again. But again, the gains have been good. They're fine. But I am waiting for those green lights to say, okay, here is where we could really start having some fun again in the market. So that is going to wrap it up for this one, guys. If you did enjoy the information and analysis I provided for you guys in this one, make sure you go down and hit that like button. Costs you nothing to do it. Helps me out a whole lot, spreading these videos out to as many people who actually want to learn. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.